This week on Truth Be Trolled, Ken Susi talks the most shit.
Come and take a ride.
It's got disco music into that right now. Yes. Super bad.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are we recording? Ken, you look fucking sexy. Looks like you're doing a fucking press junket.
I'm on like a series of Ozempic and dick pills diet right now just to try to get ready for the new band.
Just like spooning them in like cereal.
Dick pills and Ozempic. Yeah, I just want to look like just full but tight.
Those are industry secrets.
Industry secret.
Yeah.
What band? What the fuck are you talking about?
I just joined up with All That Remains. I'm very proud to be learning and playing their music and going out on tour in May with Born of Osiris and all that cool stuff. And kind of hit the internet the other day, and I was like, it's crazy because like a lot of my friends were like, "Hey man, you broke the internet," and I was like, it's nuts because like I didn't think like anybody cared, you know. So
you thought the internet still hated you.
Yeah.
I actually had lunch at Ken's house, and you gonna have to back this up because it's the truth. I said to you, if you join that band, you are a solid metal legend at that point. You can. What is next? You're gonna join Pantera after this?
Everyone keeps saying Kill Switch. I'm just a filthy, I'm a filthy whore.
Yeah.
I'm going through every band, just ruining everything and leaving. It's my new style. Frank's wife's like that. She just says she was in bands and she just breaks them up.
First one to leave. Leave when you're on top.
Oh God, but
of the game.
No, but it's been pretty cool. You know, there was so much love from people on the internet. I was so shocked that like all the positivity, because usually you read the internet about something about yourself and it's mostly negative. The Lamb Goat's pretty cool. Everyone just shit on me the whole time and I love it. It's great. I got a crazy. I sent Dave and Frank a text. I was just like, so like one of my guitar heroes of all time is like Steve Stevens.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say me.
You too. Celestial Effects, Jim Foster. You should definitely put that on this podcast. Just a picture of him.
Steve Stevens is fucking awesome.
Yeah. So bar none, like Steve Stevens is like one of my favorite all time Mount Rushmore guitar players.
That's weird. I didn't think that.
And I get out of hockey the other night. I'm playing like men's hockey and shit, and I look at my phone and Steve Stevens sends me a text. He's like, "Hey man, like, congratulations on the new gig. I want to come down and come see you sometime." And I was like, oh, don't. Like, I'll just fuck up. If you're in the audience, I'll just miss every note and maybe shit my pants and fall off the stage. But no,
hopefully.
we exchanged pleasantries, but I was just like, what a cool guy, right? To just reach out to me and just like, he doesn't have to. He's Steve Stevens. He probably lives in a fucking gold UFO floating around, just handing out money.
Doing whammy bar tricks.
Yeah, playing guitar for 10 hours. He's like the greatest. Like,
when you sent me that text,
yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, aren't you friends with him?
Well, I do in some capacity work with him with Fishman.
Yeah.
So he does do like we're acquainted. So it's not like it was random.
Yeah.
But you know, I know a lot of people.
Yeah. Did Falbo send you the same text too?
No, of course not. No, he still owes me 3 guitars. He's painting 3 of my guitars. It's been 2 years.
So what's on deck? So you're gonna go on the road? Is that it, or are you gonna work on record?
Right now, we're just like, so it was really funny. I was asked to play fill in because Jason left the band, and they were just like, "Can you play the solos and stuff?" Because I mean, Ollie is such a tremendous guitar player. Ollie, who passed, if you don't know, he was like the main core of that band, writing influence and all that crazy stuff, and he tragically died years ago. And yeah, but anyway, like, he was a good friend, and I was just like, I don't want to like play with you guys if I can't do that justice. If I can't be on top of the music, I would rather not play. So I went in because I just remembered like how good it was. I just don't listen to All the Remains every day. So I went in, I started learning the stuff, and the riffs in general were like, came naturally. I didn't really have any problems learning the material. Going to the solos, they were a little bit difficult, but like they were working. Like I was playing them and things were fine. So I started sending videos to the guys and saying like, hey, this is actually pretty neat. Like, I like this. And they're like, all right, cool. So we had like a band practice not too long ago, and we all met up and listened to new tunes and stuff that I had like kind of in a box somewhere. And just the vibe was really cool. And we were supposed to make an announcement for like, hey, Ken's gonna go on tour with us. And then Phil like calls me up like the day before, and he goes, hey, we're announcing you're the new guitar player. Is that cool? And I was like, what? Oh, okay. That's cool. I was like really excited. Like, those guys are really like old friends and stuff, and it's just nice to be in a group of guys that like I can have fun time with, and like I think it like vice versa too. I like think they've been like their spirits have been kind of a little weird lately because like Metallica, they Burton dies, right? They get Newsted. Right. And the next thing you know, like they shit on Newsted or whatever they do. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying they did that with Jason. Jason and them had a great relationship, but like it's just kind of weird for a minute. And then like I was just like, guys, like let's bring the energy back in the room. Here's some new tunes. You guys like tunes? You know,
Your
like
new
we started
tunes
listening to
are
stuff.
fucking nasty. You heard it here first.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, if these new tunes don't hit in a way that I think they are, then call me out. I don't give a fuck. They're unreal. I'm not trying to blow you. I don't give a fuck. They were really fucking good songs.
Thank you very much. I honestly like got to a point where like I wasn't really necessarily like really invited into the As I Lay Dying camp to write. They moonlit me, they were moonlighting with me as far as that.
Honeypotting you.
Yeah, just kind of like, hey, show up and like write, and then like it's all right, just leave when you have an idea. It's like, all right, cool. So I did help them write like Burden and some of the stuff on the singles. So those were the songs that were released, and I felt like pretty confident. And I started withholding material, and I just kept writing on my own and playing guitar on my own, and just going and playing the shows with As I Lay Dying, and just doing whatever, just like, hey, like enjoying the experience. And then I just collected material, practiced my guitar for a bunch of years and just kind of did my own thing. And then now like I'm glad I did, because now it's going to pay off. Like I have all this material.
Oh, it's going to pay off. This is different kind of music. Like it's not regular metal. It's I think it's just going to be big. I think it's like what's happening right now in metal.
I hope so. I hope I don't blow it. It'd be fun if I don't blow it.
Well, you're going to blow it.
Yeah, I will blow it. We'll blow it. But no, it's been great. I appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Well, who am I going to steal your car with as a member from All That Remains? Because the last time I remember, me and Jeannie took your car when you were on tour with Unearth. And, dude, we partied. We drove so fast in that car. That little Cooper you had.
Mini Cooper, yeah.
I forgot about that.
So my thing is that I usually take a Fruber to the airport, and that's Frank. Not the Uber, but the Fruber. And he's always good about getting me in there. He's on time, usually punctual. Usually smells, car usually smells like weed. It's pretty cool. It's not bad, but it gets me to and from, But so Dave did the greatest thing ever to happen. Was Dave was like touring with Andrew WK or whatever, and we were just texting like, dude, you coming to town? I'm leaving pretty soon. Like we should hang out. And you're like, yeah, I'm coming to town. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm leaving, but let's connect. And we like literally synced up our calendars. We're like, dude, you're getting here when I'm leaving. Like literally. So we walk into the airport, like Terminal C or whatever the heck it is, and Dave and I just high five, key like, you know what I mean? We swap keys, and he takes my car. I drove my car to the airport. We high five. He takes my car, and he goes home. And then it's like we did that a bunch of times.
It's happened more than once, and I have photos and videos of all of it.
But we didn't even plan it. It's just like it just happened, like organically.
Yeah, well, I sit there sad and lonely waiting for the Logan Express in the cold.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah,
dude, I highly recommend Fruber. It's good. It's a good service.
Yeah, Fruber doesn't come to my neighborhood, though.
We're trying to expand.
He's only got one car. It's a one fleet,
That's it.
Fruber. So maybe Waltham can open up for All That Remains, man. We'll see what happens.
You kidding me? I wouldn't want that. They would have to headline. They're too big.
I was going to say, it's a good match, though.
That's what I'm saying. Once you play a song like Summer Nights or Cheryl, we don't have hits like that.
Oh.
Summer
No, you
Nights,
don't.
yeah.
That's funny. This is like the third time Summer Nights have come up in
It's a
meme
great
form
song
today. Yeah.
It's undeniable. The Dave and Frank combo. The brothers in the band, like a rock band with brothers, like...
And it had the only video with puppets and Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman not knowing that he was in the video.
Yeah, their brother thing doesn't make sense though, because they love each other. Typically, it's a couple of cocksuckers that can't stand each other. Well,
isn't like the Black Crowes, right? Don't they have brothers in the band that don't talk to each other?
Yeah, totally.
And then you got like Oasis that don't talk to each other. These guys barely talk to each other.
Yeah, right. I was with Frank the other day, and Dave calls, and Frank's like, "Hey," and then I can hear Dave through the speakerphone. Frank, what's up, Frank? And he's just like so excited. It's like you probably left him 8 minutes ago, but he's still like, "What's up, Frank?" And I'm like, "Man, nobody fucking calls me like that."
I will.
All right, cool.
I will.
Let's keep that energy up.
Yeah. Oh man, I actually started watching this podcast, like legit. Like
Sorry,
I
dude.
Like I was I was on it, and I just started like recently watching it just to see what you guys are talking about. It's pretty cool.
It's all conspiracies. There's nothing but fake stuff on here.
I like that you guys were talking about people that you don't meet your idols. I watched
Oh,
that
yeah.
one. And
Yeah.
Dave, I
Terrible idea.
remembered that Carrie, like we were on Towards Slayer and you came out and Carrie ripped that chick
Yeah.
for being stupid. And Carrie's so cool.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Carrie King is the best.
I love it. He was just playing video games the whole time.
Oh yeah, he has this wardrobe case the size of his
Yeah.
wall, and it opens up, and it's like whatever system, and he's ripping, and this chick's talking junk. No one's really listening to her. Dave's just asking her about bands and stuff, just being inquisitive.
She was asking me about bands.
Oh yeah.
She was asking me. She's like, no one gives a fuck about your stupid bands.
He booted her, and he's like, yeah, sorry. And he gave you a shot, right?
He gave me
drinking.
Yeah, he gave me shots, and I took the first one, and I was oof, and he's like another one. I was like, yeah, another one. I would just throw it over my shoulder.
Carrie King's like, he appears to be super like stiff, but he's the best.
He is.
He's the best.
He's the
Here's
coolest
my
guy.
Kerry story. You actually gave me a Slayer backstage pass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but you gave me 2 of them, and I brought my brother.
Yeah.
And we were in Kerry's pit during the show.
Oh, I heard the story. The phone, right? He took a picture.
Kerry comes in during the drum solo or whatever, and my brother whips out the phone. We're like closer than me and you, and Kerry looks at him. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I look at my brother. I'm like, "Stop, dude!" I'm like, "What the fuck?"
So here's a fun fact. You're lucky he didn't get cattle prodded, because those guys.
I agree.
Those guys have cattle prod side stage. If
Dude.
someone jumps, they have like the horse ones. Like you'll die. I remember Warren, the guitar tech's like, "Oh, check this out," and I was like, "Duh."
That's dope.
That's so cool. That's so Slayer. Can I tell my never meet your idol story? I think you might. I think you might have been there. I'm not sure. But first year I ever went to NAMM, Buzz and I were like, we got quartered by EVH, and I'm like standing there in this weird makeshift hallway, like behind the scenes at like the Fender thing or whatever, like in their area. So I was just like, oh, cool. Like we're gonna meet someone famous, just like standing back here. So the door swings open like full force and hits me in the back of the head, and I'm like, oh, and I look back and it's Yngwie.
Oh,
and he goes, oh. And then he walks away, and I was like, Yngwie hit me with a door. We're all high-fiving. We're all like, he didn't even apologize. What an awesome guy.
I did a job with Yngwie, and Yngwie was like the coolest on fucking earth, and he was never a douchebag. And at the end, I'm like, Yngwie, let's take a picture. And he's like, yeah. It was, and I was like, I was expecting him to be a twat. He was awesome.
Well, you'd think he would say like, oh, I'm sorry, man.
No.
He's
He looked
Yngwie.
at you and said, oh.
Yeah. I was lucky he didn't wipe his ass with me. But you know what, though? Either one would have been cool, so I don't hate him.
Well, there was that time we took a bus with Warren DeMartini, and we were like all nervous.
Yeah.
And then we waited until the bus stopped, and we got out of the bus, and we're like, okay. Then we started talking, and we were fanboy the crap out of that guy.
I gotta tell the story. I have to tell the story with you.
Yeah.
So Dave and I are in NAMM. This is when Dave lived in LA, and we're sitting there, and I was talking to a girl. Just met a girl that was like a guitar painter and stuff like that. Super cool chick. And Dave and I were walking the floor with her. She had all these like cool connections, and we're just hanging with her. And Dave walks up to we walk up to this group of people, and she starts talking to them. And Dave and I are just going. He's already covering his face because he knows it sucks. He looks at this guy, and they just like, it's just like one of those like, I know you. And so it's the guy from Skid Row. What's his name? Sabo, right? The guitar
Snake?
player?
No, not the Snake Sabo. It was Rachel Bolan.
Okay,
Oh.
so they look at each other, and Dave goes, "Oh yeah, I know you." And he goes, "Didn't you want to? Aren't you the guy from Chevelle that want to buy my Segway?" And the guy just like, and I was like, I pointed at the guy and laughed. I was like, Dave and him, and Dave's like, "Oh yeah."
I felt so bad about that. If you're watching, I'm very sorry, Mr. Bolan.
Dave's the early adopter of the rock stars on Segways thing. That's fucking hilarious. I gotta tell I have a great story. This is a fucked up story, and if I told it already, I'm sorry, but it's worth telling to you because it's so good. Back in the day, I was in his band, and we were opening for Dawkin at the Hampton Beach Casino.
Dawkin?
Dawkin.
Okay.
And in the middle of the show, like, me and my guitar player went into their dressing room and started stuffing our faces like savages. We were like 22, chugging their beer like fucking animals. And then all of a sudden, Don Dawkin comes in, and we're like, fuck, like mouth stuffed and everything. And he looks at us, he's like, I don't give a fuck. and he's like kind of like just chilling out. And then George Lynch walks in. This is in the middle of the show. It's like drum solo going on. And they look at each other all hard, and then George Lynch is like looking at himself in the backstage mirror. We're trapped in their room in between this nasty energy, and you can see like George is all roided up at the time, and
like Peter North style ripped.
They give each other the look, and George walks back out and Don Dawkins looks at me and my guitar player, and he has a fucking buck knife in his pocket, like huge. He goes, "See this?" He goes, "This is for that motherfucker." And he's just like, if that fucking guy tries anything, he's just like, fuck him.
Oh,
and then he's like, you guys can have all this shit or whatever. And he walks out and they finish the show. And we're like, me and my dude look at each other like, what the fuck?
That's amazing. Picture stabbing someone in your band with a knife. That's cool.
A big knife.
Oh, he never did it though. What a pussy.
No, he never did it. But he was ready. And this was in the middle of the show. So bro had tight pants and a giant buck knife in his pants during the fucking show.
My docking story. Docking.
Yeah, we want to hear the docking story.
So Dave and I again at NAMM, we're outside just like, you know, I'm hanging out with Dave and Nick Hippa from As I Lay Dying when he was in As I Lay Dying and stuff, and he's like was with some he was dating Mariah, George's daughter, and all cool. I mean, she didn't really like me that much just because I'm just Ken Susi, he's gross, you know, like guy. So to her, right? So anyway, I hear somebody just asking like George Lynch, I don't know how he knew me or whatever, but he must have went to an Ozfest and must have checked my rig, because what happened was he grabbed Dave and was like, are you Ken Susi? And he's like, no. And you were like, this guy is. And then like I started talking to George, and then he's like telling me all about like his rig, like, oh, you used a frameless Cobra head and a Maxon overdrive and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know my whole fucking rig, this is crazy. And I'm like, so there's George Lynch talking to us, and then he's just like, you want to come in my limo and go to a party? And like, yep. I will not say no to that ever. And then Dave and I went to the limo with his daughter and whatever, and we went to the ESP dinner, and we hung out with George Lynch.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty fucking
cool guy.
Dude, by the way, his tone in the heyday was fucking nasty.
Soldano amps and
nasty.
And dick pills probably.
Yeah. No Ozempic yet.
No, he didn't need it.
No, he's eating the HGH.
Yeah, who isn't?
Nice.
Brian's on it. He's looking all tight over here. The strong silent type now.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of singers and Don Dawkins. I met him on the airplane.
We should have Pee-wee's Playhouse, like where everyone yells when someone says Don Dawkins. He's word of the
day. But I got to meet Don Dawkins, not knowing, on an airplane. I was sitting on an airplane to El Paso, and I see these two guys, you know, they look like clearly they were in bands, you know, one dude had long hair, whatever he's talking about his guitar. I see him with his little gig bag, and I said, oh, hey, so we get off the plane, and I'm like, hey, so you guys playing a band or something? And Don Dawkins goes, Dawkins? I was like, oh yeah, I can see it now. The worst thing ever. I was like, that's it. No more meeting famous people.
The secret is to go up to someone highly famous and like fuck with them. Like I'm dying to meet Rob Zombie and be like, are you Bobby Zombie? Or Bob Zombie? Right?
Are you Frank Zappa?
Yeah, call them something a little bit off from their name, like, you know, and they'll hate you.
When my first job was like selling pool shit, and this kid, because of where we lived, he would swear he knew Aerosmith. He was like, yeah, I went to school with him. And I'm like, him? Yeah. Like, Aerosmith is a guy? He's like, yeah, I know him. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? I was like, I'm not dumb, dude. It was, all the time.
Well, I don't know if this will get you in trouble, but so we toured with we did a show. Godsmack hired Unearth to come out to like 2 shows. I forget what it was, but we played some Enormo Dome somewhere, and we played right before them. They gave us a pile of money, and I'm like, cool. I'm finally gonna get to meet. I mean, these guys are from like what? Revere, Everett,
Hudson,
like whatever,
Lawrence,
whatever. Yeah, they're like guys from here, but they used to play Revere Beach all the time. Walt then won a battle of the bands against Godsmack, so they're technically better, right? So let's just establish that right now. But anyway, right? So they're playing like the Tank at all these places. We all played there, right?
Yep.
And like, so I'm like, I can't wait to meet Sully. I want to see what's up with him. Let's see how cool he is, right? Sully and I happen to like just walk past each other in the hallway, and I go, yo, Kelly's roast beef. What do you think? You know, we're in like somewhere in the, you know what I mean, in like Colorado or something. You would think he'd be like, you know what I mean, or give me his order, or just be cool. Walks right by me, and I'm like, whatever, dude.
Oh, that's a total saliva move.
Yep. And then later on, we were at something, like some party years later, and his one of my good friends was his tour manager, and he was just like, "Oh, Sully wants to talk." He said, like, I'm working with Godsmack. I'm like, I don't want to meet these fucking guys. I already met them. You know what I mean? I was like already over it. And then like he's like, "Oh, I want you to talk to Sully. He's really cool." And I'm like, I'm not going to give him a chance. Tell him I pass. I just didn't want to. I will make up with Sully if he just comes to me and we talk about roast
I think
beef.
he was, and you were being a dickhead.
Yeah,
Show up with a roasted beef order, dude.
My dad had a body shop in Revere. Come on, dude. Let's talk about the North Shore. You're from the North Shore. How cool is that? That's all I want out of Sully.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're away somewhere, that would be the way to like connect. Be like, yo, we're from. Like when people who own Jeeps, they wave each other for some reason. It's like, hey, I got a Jeep too. If I didn't know you guys and we were on tour somewhere and I met you, like Dave or whatever, Frank, whatever, and we're in Europe or something, and someone says, "Oh, dude, Kelly's roast beef," I'm gonna insert myself in him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get crazy and excited and be BFFs.
That shit has happened to me, and it's very, very bizarre. Where you just meet someone and they say something like, literally, "You want to hear what the fuck just happened? This is how fucked up. All right, this just happened to me." I'm doing a documentary on Nonpoint, and I know a lot about these dudes. I know these dudes. I film these dudes, whatever. And randomly we were at the Nuno Turkey Jam, and I see my old business partner's who passed away's sister. She's from not too far away, and she's like, "What are you doing with Nonpoint?" I'm like, What do you mean? She's like, "I know Rob." I'm like, "You don't fucking know Rob." I was like, "This is like whatever." She's like, "No, I know Rob."
I think he's the one that everyone knows.
But check this out.
He's the best.
And she's like, "I know." And I'm like, "No, you don't." Dude, she's like, back in the 80s, I used to work at like fucking Toys R Us, and he worked at the pool place next door, and we were cool. And I'm like, "No, that's not true." And she's like, "Yeah, he lived on whatever street. I forget. It was like the street next to mine."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "So you're telling me that Rob lived in Natick, where I grew up, in the year that I graduated from high school, the street away from me?" I'm like, "That's not the truth."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I text Rob. I'm like, "Rob, what's this bullshit?" He's like, "Yup." I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy.
I'm like, "What?"
Whoa. That's crazy.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
That's bananas. And I'm like, "Holy shit."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wild, right?
That's crazy. I love hearing those stories. Like my claim to fame, well, from my hometown is in high school you would sit like A through Z, right, in a classroom. But like it must have been different in the 60s or the 70s or whatever when like Brad Delp went to school, because every time I would like be in a class, everyone knew I played like hockey and stuff, but people knew I was also a musician, like teachers and stuff, and they'd be like, "Ken Susi, you're sitting right in the seat where Brad Delp used to sit." Like all the time. Whoa. They were always like, anyone that knew, right, they thought that like a teacher, it's cool that a teacher would like be like, "I know you play guitar, it's awesome, like you'd appreciate this." And growing up my whole life, literally, like Brad Delp used to sit in your seat.
That's crazy. So, Brad Delp was an amazing human. Awesome
unbelievable
dude.
singer.
Unbelievable singer. Great dude, too. I met him a couple times. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw one of his last shows, dude. Oh, I'm sorry.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Damersport Yacht Club?
No, it was at the place in Somerville.
Which place is that?
Oh, Good Times? Fun Times?
No.
With the illegal gambling?
Lily's? In Somerville.
Yeah, it was in Somerville.
Somerville Theater? No.
No, it was a bar. It was a bar. We were talking to the bartender.
Lizard Lounge?
And as a matter of fact, that bartender, I don't know how we reconnect anyways. But we saw
how
him.
I met Brad, because we would go see Beetlejuice, and he'd just be hanging out. We'd be like, "Let's go talk to Brad Delp." And you'd meet him and talk to him. He's like, the nicest dude. Fucking tragic situation.
Speaking of Boston, so in Danvers, my hometown, I was always going to like underground shows and all that stuff, like in like, the Lynn, Boston, like, the areas that I could con someone to drive me to, right? But the drummer Sid opened up a music shop. Sib. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sib's my homeboy. Was my homeboy.
So Sib was he owned a record store, and I bought Inside Out from Zach De La Rocha's first band back when they were like a hardcore band. He had all these like cool, like, you know what I mean, underground records, and I went in there and I just used to buy shit like Earth Crisis and like all this stuff that like you wouldn't find at like Sam Goody or whatever. So I definitely repped his place for a while. Got friendly with him, and
he's awesome.
He's a good guy.
I actually directed a terrible TV show, Scorch's PFG, and Civi was the co-host. And this show was so fucking bad. It was so hilarious that Opie and Anthony used to roast us live on air. They would watch the show and like tell jokes about. Dude, I would have tears pouring down my face laughing because
it's too good.
It was, yeah, they weren't wrong. It was fucking so bad, but like Civ was the man, and I got to hang out with him for like a year and a half. Like he was the best. He was the fucking coolest for sure.
It's awesome to be like young and then like do like, you know, to see all these guys like, you know, as these heroes, right? And they're like folklore. Like even we had Mark Bavaro, right? The football player who won a bunch of Super Bowls. He actually won with what's his face? Bill Belichick back, you know, in the like 84 or whatever it was. So we have all these like cool like personalities in Massachusetts, especially my hometown. But the crazy thing is like when you like meet these guys, like you're like, whoa, this guy's from Boston and he owns a record store and I'm talking to him. I mean, now that I'm older, it's pretty sad. But like back then, I was like, this is legendary. This is the greatest thing in the world. Like this guy has all these cool records and he's a cool guy and he was famous. And you know what I mean? To have that kind of outlet to just like chat with a dude like that here and there is kind of cool. It's like talking to Wayne Gretzky about hockey. You know, it's sick.
So any musicians watching this, learn the lesson. Pay attention to your contracts.
Move to Danvers.
Don't move to Danvers.
I thought that was the moral of the story.
The story is move to Danvers.
Definitely don't do that.
No, it's awesome. You're just mad because we're all rich.
Yeah, you're all rich and everybody's fucking short and angry.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Meet your heroes.
So we talking about conspiracy theories or what?
Yeah, you said you had something you wanted to bring up.
Oh, there's so many. I've been like ever since I was on here, I was like, there's so many like weird like things I'm looking up online just to like have a conversation with you guys. Now I'm going deep, but there's like I saw this thing where there's like lizard people, right? Like I was a big fan of V the Final Battle when I was a kid. So like the thought of like aliens that are lizards are so awesome, like to me. And they like, you know, Ben might know a lot about this kind of stuff, but I was a big fan of Michael Ironside. Do you remember V the Final Battle?
Yeah.
He was the good bad guy, and he wore a leather duster like Frank had back in the day, and he used to pull out an Uzi and just blast a bunch of lizards with his gun, of course. So what's the deal with that? Are there really like reptilian like aliens?
100%.
Oh yeah.
I'm just asking for a friend.
This shit doesn't come out of thin air.
100%.
Juan 100.
While you guys talk too, like I'm gonna look up the stuff that I have.
You could see some of these WEF like fucking cretins half shape-shifting in the middle of speeches and shit.
Yeah.
They're all fucking weirdos. They're all inbred cretins.
Was Biden one? Because his whole face was weird.
I think that was just a regular old fake Biden. Like they had, and the CIA is 100% in the Hollywood VFX makeup game. It's just a fact.
Well,
Look
I feel
it
like
up.
if they could put Carrie Fisher into that last Star Wars, they could do anything with politics.
1,000%, especially when you refuse to believe you're being punked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So lizard people are pretty cool, but one thing that's even cooler is the oncoming alien invasion. That's going to be, Jesus is coming.
Is Jesus coming?
Well, Jesus is
AI.
coming.
Dude, Jesus is
coming
here.
in
He's
that
been
sentence.
here ever since.
AI Jesus is coming. We've created God. AI is the next God.
I feel like that's a good look for us, though. At this
Ironically, it was satanic pedophiles that have created AI Jesus. So maybe you shouldn't trust that hot shit.
Well, speaking of like outer space, I saw this really cool thing online that like blew my mind. So they have these like, okay, so you know how we like put a American flag on the moon when we landed there? Right. Trust me. Like I'm not. Listen. I'm not fully convinced that they flew a Jiffy Pop machine into outer space and they got back in the 60s.
Maybe they did.
I'm sure they've gotten there now, and I'm sure there's like crazy technology beyond the moon, right, at this point. But if you were to say, if we put a flag on the moon, right, and you look up there with a telescope, they say you can't see the flag from Earth. But how many times do you turn on your like you look at NASA or whatever, they're like, 40 billion light years away, there's this one planet. We have this telescope that can reach over the way there to see this one little planet, but you can't see a flag on the moon, like pretty damn close. I mean,
atmosphere is distorted. Like, there's a billion different answers for everything.
You can't see it
you
because
can.
you don't
well,
have,
if
you
I
don't
had
have
their
the
technology, that thing you could see through the goddamn planet, but
that's the
how
point,
much you're
right.
zooming in, right?
Right.
So
if you had their technology,
That's actually right, yeah.
you would see that there's no flag up there.
Oh, I don't know.
Or-
Elon Musk said he
bro.
played golf up there himself.
How long do you think it took him to get up there?
How long? What?
How long do you think the trip took to get to the moon and back those first couple of times?
I am convinced that they threw monkeys up in the ship and they all burned and they never really got there.
I think it was like 4.5. No, 8. I think it was like 8.5 days. 4 days there and 4 days back. But how did they hold that much oxygen for three or four dudes?
It's probably, you ever see the movie Rocket Man? Where the
I thought you were gonna see Apollo 13 and be like, dude, yeah, of course.
no, you ever see Rocket Man where they have to connect suits and Homeboy starts farting in his suit and
they have to dock. That's where docking actually came from.
Yeah, I watched this and the only reason why I'm thinking of that is because I watched this thing the other day. It was like these two people got trapped in a cave, and like when the police or whatever the teams found them, they like were well past their time as far as like they only had like one can of something to eat, and they ate that. But then they're like, "How did you survive?" And they were like eating each other's feces and stuff. So I'm sure they were eating each other's feces in the ship and getting weird.
Yeah, are you sure of that?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 100. What I would say about 100%.
I don't think anybody's eating feces on a Hollywood set, bro. It's just not the way it
goes. Wait a second, you don't think so?
They call it craft services.
There's definitely 8 days worth of hot boxing each other.
Yeah, there's no getting around that. And you can't lie to me and tell me, like, I've unfortunately experienced a scumbag on a plane farting, and there's nothing that can help you.
I once, this is a sick brag, but I once knocked a guy out on a plane, and all the air marshals pulled their guns on us. I was on a flight to Nam, my first time ever with Fishman, and it's a crowded plane to LA from Boston, right? 5-hour flight, whatever the heck it is. And like, I picked an aisle seat on purpose because I just didn't want to deal, right? So this guy walks over to me, totally hammered, probably like, I was like in my 30s. He was in his late 20s, just like whatever. And he looks at me and he goes, "I want your seat." Ignorantly. And I go, "Well, you're not getting it. Sit in your fucking seat," kind of thing. And then there's a lady like in the inside, and she's just like, "Oh, Jesus," right? So this guy's like, "Well, I'm just going to keep getting up." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." I said, "Take your chances, buddy. Like, it's not a problem. I'll get up for you. I want this seat." So we're sitting there, and he's just being ignorant. He might have got up 50 times in the flight. It got to a point where it's like just dumb, right? So we're about an hour out, and he starts getting mouthy with like the staff, like on the plane. And that's ignorant too. So it gets mouthy, goes to the bathroom. I go to the staff and I say, "You have to, like, I know there's like only an hour left, but my tolerance is shot. I need to like just swap me out with somebody." And like, "We can't do that. It's a full flight." And I go, "There's going to be a problem. I'm just telling you, there's going to be a problem. If he lays a hand on me or if anything weird happens, I'm not going to like control myself." So sure enough, the guy comes, like the guy's like, "I can't do anything." Guy comes back and I'm standing at my seat. I get up. And we're just face to face, and I'm like looking at him, and I'm just like waiting. So I start turning my side. I turn a little bit to the side just so if he throws, like at least I have my shoulder, I can block something. And I do one of these, like, "Get in." And he mocks me. He does the ole, like, "You're a dick." And I was like, "Dude, you're such a," and I just told him how I felt about him. You know what I mean? I use a couple choice lines, and he put his hand up in like on my shoulder, but this shoulder, my left, which was dumb because in a hockey fight, you want to grab
I knew hockey fight was coming.
You want to grab a guy by his jersey, right? I uppercutted him so hard in the throat that he went back. I mean, I thought I killed him. I hit him so hard, and all the air marshals were like, "Freeze!"
Oh yeah, right on spot.
And I was, because this is like 2013, 14. So it was like, pretty still close to like.
When you say all, how many?
2. There were 2 pretty close.
And they knew what was brewing the whole time.
They totally knew. And then I just put my hands up, I sat back down, they separated us, we got off the plane.
They resuscitated the guy.
Luckily, oh my God, he was fucked. And I hit him lights out, Tyson style.
You knocked him out by punching him in the throat.
Yeah, so it was more of an uppercut that should have landed on his jaw, but I hit him in the throat and he was not well. The guy, but the police, there's like 5 police guys, and they pulled us aside after we got off the plane, and I was just like, this guy touched me and like whatever, and like he was being ignorant, and sure, luckily the staff came out and was like, "This guy's okay. He was protecting himself. We saw the whole thing, and then the guy was yapping, and I was like, "I'll see you in the parking lot. I'm gonna bury you at the terminal where you pick up your baggage." I was gonna fold his fucking clothes with him still in them and put him in his own bag and let it go on the carousel. But yeah, that's my only like one tough guy touring story or like whatever. But yeah, so we didn't go to the moon.
Pretty fucking good. And then NAMM sucked.
NAMM was actually awesome that year.
Oh, those days were over. Are you going to be in Europe on tour this year?
I don't know. All the Remains, I think, is going to go overseas at some point, but I don't know if like necessarily Europe. I think we might go. I've heard like Australia and Japan and whatever, but that'd be pretty sick. I haven't been back there in a while. When I first met you, like I was going to Australia like every other friggin' week.
Yeah.
And I haven't been back there in a long time. Speaking of Never Meet Your Heroes, can I tell another story? A sick Never Meet Your Hero story. I'm like this just dumb kid, like, you know, first time in Australia, and like every single show you have to fly, right? Brisbane to Sydney, whatever. It's like all far away. I sit next to this giant man on one of the flights. I mean, he's like, you know, linebacker, massive. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I sit next to this guy and I'm like, you know, just being cool with him. He was actually a nice guy. Got through the whole flight. Just thought he was just like the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. So I get off the plane and I'm standing next to this guy and there's news. Like the Australian news is like, blah, 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 and like putting mics in my face, but it wasn't my face. It was like the guy next to me. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I have no idea what they're talking about, right? And
because they were speaking Australian.
They were speaking a foreign language, like Australian. He wasn't American. They weren't speaking American. So they get in my face with this guy, and I'm thinking they're going to ask, like, what do you think of Qantas Airlines? Or, like, so I have no idea what's happening. So I just, like, I noticed that, like, I get the vibe, like they're just going to talk to him, but I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they're talking about because I wasn't really listening. So I back up like 2 steps and I just start like throwing up the shocker, sniffing my fingers, the pinky, just you know, just like in case if anybody knows me, you know, like it'd be sick, right? Just right. So I get back to the venue and the promoters are crying, laughing at me. Like, this is the greatest thing to ever happen ever. And I'm like, why? What happened? Like, we saw you on the news.
You were Australian famous?
This guy actually got suspended. It was huge news. So this was like his 3rd time. He was a rugby player, and what he would do is pull guys' pants down or like maneuver and shove his fingers up their butts. And he got suspended enough times to where it ended his career.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
his name was like I could look it up online.
It's famous, all kinds of videos.
Right. And I was like behind him throwing the shocker like his hype man. I was like Fanta Domingo back there, like you know, like
how did you not meme out?
You know,
How did you not become a meme?
Oh, I don't know. It was before. I mean, that was probably like 2000 whatever. We were still on MySpace, but that was the greatest ever because I was on TV for sniffing my fingers for a guy who was fingering guys on a sports field.
Yeah, some dude I think on the Lakers did that like you know a couple weeks ago. And you know he's like, I do it because I think it's funny, and you know they're like, no, don't do that.
You can't help it. You can't. Help it.
Sometimes you just gotta finger your bros' buttholes.
Well, it's like stuff like that happens all the time when you're on tour, and
no,
like,
it doesn't, dude. No, don't bring in that Diddy shit into this fucking.
There was this. I'll tell another funny story. There's this one time we're all on a slave ship, we call it in Europe, where like there's 4 bands on a bus, but the bus fits 20-something people, right?
That's what I'm doing in April. That's awesome. Why I was asking you.
I love it because you make friends and you're in close quarters. And
what did you call it? A pirate ship?
What I call slave ship.
Slave ship.
In Europe, in a tour bus, you have like a hangout area in the bottom, and then upstairs it's a little bit shorter, but there's 2 rows, like 2 bunks all the way the length of the bus, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I usually stay on America's time, right? East Coast, America time. So around like 6 in the morning, I go to sleep, and then I wake up at like 3. Because there's nothing really to do in Europe. There's no like castle. Once you've seen one castle, it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. No, so anyway, I just like to stay on American time, right? So 6 a.m., I'm going to sleep. I wake up at about 3. So roughly around like 6 or so, I wake up and like right when I go to sleep, like I probably slept like 45 minutes. And there's like a whole fleet of people with cameras and a newscaster guy in my face in my bunk.
What?
But speaking German. Guten Abend, fuck, you know, like.
Good thing you weren't fucking. Good thing you weren't gooning, dude.
Oh my god! I was like, had my t-shirt around my neck, like getting weird. So I'm like, what? And I I wake up, I look, and everyone's out of the bus except for me, and they're like filming me in my fudgies, get out of my bunk. And I walk down the stairs, and everyone's in like a police lineup, like lined up like this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So they put a camera in front of me. I'm like, and at the time the Celtics were like in the playoffs. I was like, go Celtics! Yeah! You know, like that guy. That was probably the stupid American guy. Anyway,
probably.
It ended up being a version of Cops for in Germany, and they pulled our bus aside looking for marijuana and drugs and stuff, and we didn't have any. Well, one guy had like a little bit of weed on him, but nothing that nothing crazy. But yeah. German Cops, like TV show on Earth, and like I can't remember what other bands.
Did it go live?
I asked the lady who was the, whatever the TV show was. I was like, "Can you write down? Like, I want to watch this," and I never got to see it. But we were definitely on some version of Cops somewhere in Germany. They pulled us over.
Oh, internet, do your thing. Please make the AI version of that. Ken and his fudgies getting off the bus.
Your fudgies are comfortable pajamas, right?
No, it's just like my dandies.
But
my underwear.
They're comfortable, right?
It's just my underwear.
You know what they call them in Germany? Your comfortable pajamas?
No.
Mein Kampfs.
There's a
so what happened to your bunk sock in this exchange?
Oh no, I had a lot of sad tissues in my bunk in that time. Not happy tissues.
A couple of hard socks fall out.
There's difference between sad
tissues and happy tissues.
I always used to threaten, like, if you're gonna masturbate, like those like arts and crafts as kids, you get the pipe with the fuzzy pipe. You know what I'm talking about? It's like little bendable
pipe cleaner with fuzzy.
Yeah, just put your sad tissue on top of that and make a little garden. Like, like keep planting a flower.
Gross. Good for you.
These are the good times.
This was highly entertaining, Ken. Jesus Christ, you come with it. The way you walked into the room and greeted Dave in the other room, I said it the other day because you were piping off. I'm like, Ken's back. Like backstage Ken is fucking, somebody lit backstage Ken's fuse. He's back.
You know what it really is I'm just underslept. All I'm doing is playing guitar and waking up every hour with my son while he needs a bottle.
It's funny you said that because, a couple months ago, you're like, I don't want to be one of those shitbag dads that has a kid and goes on tour.
Yeah, I can't wait to go on tour. No, I'm just kidding. He's cool. My kid's
You already got approval?
Yeah, well, it was kind of weird. Like, my wife was like, a lot of people don't know this, but like, so my dad, so my son was a NICU baby. Frank was there for that, and you were there for that. Your wife was awesome with being our doula. But yeah, no, like it was hard because I went into that. Like, As I Lay Dying imploded, and then I went right into like being a dad and concerned for my son's life, right? And then like you just get off the grid, you're just focusing on the one thing, you're doing skin to skin time for hours and hours and hours and all that. And it was really like exciting, but also nerve-wracking. And then like 3 months after that, my son's like kind of getting out of that. He comes home and like things are getting good. And then my dad almost dropped. Well, he did drop dead. And my wife saved his life, and luckily Mark Alves, police officer from Grafton, got the EMTs to my house quick enough to save my father's life. But I went through 3 months of my father in the ICU right after that. And here I am, like, just sitting hours and hours and hours holding my dad's hand while he's unconscious. And like, I thought my career, my life, everything was just over. And I realized that like I'm never going to play music again. Like, there's no way between having a son and having this, my dad being this sick in life. It was nerve-wracking. I like literally, and I was just like, I'm retired. And the guys at Fishman too are so great. They're very supportive. Like Jason and Larry and Brian Fishman, like all have my back. And they, gave me some time off of work, but ultimately they were like encouraging me, like, you should do a band again and stuff. And I'm like, I'm broken. I'm just so broken, and this is like maybe this is me being like super serious. On my way out of As I Lay Dying, like Frank, Dave, you guys, but Frank's been my best friend since 2005, since I insulted him at that club. You know what I mean? But like honestly, the way it works out is that like I had another best friend. His name is Otto Valentine. He lived in San Diego. We toured together for 12 years straight. When I say like don't become my best friend because I'm very obsessive.
Needy.
Yeah, I'll be like, why are you hanging out with that other guy on tour right now? Like, you should be next to me. Even if you're talking to him, you should be like, that's the relationship Otto and I had. And he died, and like that ruined music for me. It really did. I was on the phone with his mother at night, like, every night, and I couldn't even all the joy was sucked out of music for me, 100%, losing my friend on tour like that. And I didn't want to play music ever again, to be totally honest with you. Between Otto's death, my son's birth, and how traumatic that was, and then into my father almost passing away, it was like, I'm done. I don't care. And when the call came in from All the Remains, my wife, like, I was just like, I kind of don't want to do this. You know what I mean? I told my wife, I kind of don't want to do anything. And she's just like, like, here she is. It's going to make her life worse. But she's the one that goes, no, this was always the plan.
Anytime I've ever joined a band in my life, it was when I was saying to myself, I'm done with this bullshit.
Yeah. I was absolutely 100,000% in my mind retired. Like, I was like, Tom Brady, like, I'm 40 something years old. Put that behind me. You know what I mean? There is a cap that everybody, like, you look at Dave Lee Roth and like and Vince Neil now, like, there's a cap. You shouldn't be on stage after a certain point. There should be like a governor there. But with me, I was just like, I'm past my prime. I don't have anything to offer anybody. I don't even care anymore. Like, even just like playing an awesome show, like, could care less. And like, I was also pretty jaded from like the Unearthed days where like Frank, there was one night where I was hanging out with Frank, and you could probably speak to this. You showed me a video online of like what we just did. We played Download Fest in front of 1 million people. Frank's like, what does that feel like? And I felt like a dick after leaving your house for saying this, but Frank was just like, what does that feel like? And I was like, it sucks, because usually the next day you're playing in front of 30 people and you come right back to reality and your life is just fucking, and like, I started getting to the point where I play these major festivals in front of all these people, and I'd be like, it doesn't matter, tomorrow's gonna suck. You know what I mean?
Aww.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where my life has been, up until this point. So I was just kind of like, I'm done. I'm over it. But crazy thing is that I, like, when my dad got sick and I was in the hospital room with him, I literally had my all I had was a cell phone on me, and I was singing riffs into my phone, even though it was just there. So then I started putting music together again, slowly, and then the band asked me to play, and like, everything came back to life.
Yeah, because creativity is a wave, and when it goes down, you should let go of it. But when it goes up, you're fucking yourself by not creating.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where I was defeated and done. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And like, when someone says like, "Oh, what is he doing? He's on the couch now." I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm on the couch. Fucking A, you're on the couch.
Well, you didn't enter your fat Ken phase, so that's cool.
I'm pretty fat.
Yeah, but you have the ability to be fatter in the future.
Yeah. When I start wearing when I abandon belts, I'll let you know.
For stretch fabric.
Yeah, when Unearthed was like we're all in our like young phase, like, and we're all shredded and whatever, like, not shredded, but it fit because we're young. Once everybody's like figured out how to tour with like Damage Plan and drink whiskey, everyone, Dave, you know this. You came on tour with us for like 4 seconds and you gained how many pounds?
I put that my body has never been the same since.
So the guys in my band would like, we're getting older, but we're also getting a little fatter, and then we're meeting younger bands, and like kids would like hand like my old bass player Slow a t-shirt and be like, hey man, like, we wear a band shirt, and like in the kid's head it's like, oh, he's gonna wear a shirt on stage in Unearthed. Slow's like, this is good material.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Then he puts it on, he's like, I like the way this feels. Yeah. I was like,
does this shirt make me look fat?
Yeah, that's what I'm like looking at. I'm like, oh, this band's over. Once you start talking about comfort versus style.
Yeah, but dude, I remember talking to you. Obviously, the times got pretty dark. I mean, last year things got kind of fucked up. So, but I remember the conversations were always, at least from my end, I was like, dude, is it possible that the way the universe works, you got to go through all that stuff? You know what I mean? Because you've been able to navigate your career, and obviously, we're best buds, but at the same time, we're fans, so we would watch you do these interviews back in the day, which are classic because you didn't answer any of the questions. Yeah. And
I still won't.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope you stick to that. But when I think about what that was like last year, it's just one of those things where if it's going to be the universe saying, I'm going to put you through some shit, because on the other side of it, there's a really good chance your dad was going to be okay. and it was dark, but then he's okay. Your kid, NICU, but Dominic's the shit. He was gonna be awesome, and he's good. He's good. So then now that's handled, that's taken care of. Plus your home life. April's awesome. She's great. What's up, April? Now you're just like, well, Ken. I always said, Ken, you've done so many things that it's only a matter of time before somebody's gonna need someone who's as dialed in as you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you always stayed, always practicing. You're playing, dude. You're writing stuff, always writing.
Well, even inherently at work, I always have a guitar in my hand at Fishman, No,
I knew something was coming. What it was going to be genre-wise? Of course, you can play metal, you can play rock. You've already proven that. I was just wondering, I knew that it was going to be like a band that you were aligned with as far as personalities go. Because all these bands from back when you guys were kids. So eventually somebody's going to be like, yo, man, it's not like if you were in a kickball fucking line and people were picking players, dude, you get picked up. You're not like, Billy up against the wall being like, nobody's going to fucking pick me to play. They're going to pick me last. Like, you were first pick.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because in my brain, I actually, I threw a couple offers to other bands. Like, some bands offered me to play, and I was like, not my thing. And then there was a couple bands I was like, hey, I'd like to play for you guys if you ever need anybody, right? So I started feeling like the last guy in line, because it's really funny. I spent most of my career being a sharp-mouthed guy as well as kind of a performer, but how obsessed I am, and how not obsessed, but I like to be so prepared, overly prepared. By the time I get to the stage, I feel like I can just talk shit and make it look easy. And that's the way it should be. No one ever wants to see how many hours you put in and all that other crap. People just want to see, they want the illusion of this guy rolled out of a bush because he was just hammered and played the whole set flawlessly. Absolutely. They love that, right? So that's what I do. But behind the scenes, you know what I mean?
You're a real guitar player, I'll tell you that.
But it's funny because a lot of people, when I joined up with this, was like, oh, I don't think he can play. I don't think he can do that. And I'm like I heard through the grapevine from those guys.
You and Buzz would play most technical shit, jumping off of your amp, spinning around your backs, fucking drinking. How could someone say that?
Because in Unearth, right? Buzz, I would play I'd riff and do stuff and write. I'm put it this way. I focus on writing music because that's what pays my salary. That's what makes me live.
Yeah, but it wasn't simple shit.
Soloing is fun, and everyone knows how to do it, and everyone has a certain level of doing it, but that doesn't necessarily pay the bills unless you're Steve Vai, right? So I always focused on I need to write the next song. I'm always looking for the next song. Buzz would always just sweep over everything or tap over everything, which is cool. He's got the talent. But when it came down to soloing, we'd go back and forth, Buzz and I. We had a good relationship with that. And so maybe I was a little bit overshadowed because he was constantly doing that, where I was waiting for the solo opportunity to go back and forth.
I looked at you two the same. I did.
I love Buzz, and I don't regret anything with that band, But what I will say is that maybe I was a little bit undervalued or overlooked. So maybe I was the fifth pick, not the first. You know what I'm saying? So,
you're not the tallest guy. You might have a little chip on your shoulder.
Well, I will say this. Yes, when All the Remains asked me if I would like to be in a band, I said I have a lot to prove. And I am going to prove it. I put it this way. Mike Martin said it to me the other day. Don't tell Ken Susi that he can't do it. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Can I make a request though?
Yeah.
When you're in the area on tour and you're comfortable with these guys, get me in. Mm-hmm. We're gonna film this.
Yes.
Play the show.
Yep.
With a shock collar on.
Oh, dude.
And a remote anal vibrator.
And I get the remote.
How about one of those, let's go a little more sensitive. What about those, online, you're on Instagram and it's they have these weird butt plugs that vibrate for girls and stuff.
Okay, both.
And you can see it through the pants. It's illuminated. I'll do that for you. All right. But you're going to need a solid one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to need grip.
It's going to need, it's need to be ribbed for my pleasure.
40 grit.
Yeah, sandpapery. Oh man, I've had fun. It's good. I'm sure I'll be canceled after this.
I hope so.
Nah,
can't be canceled if you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this. I'll start where I ended. You guys, this podcast's fun. You guys you're doing a good job. I was actually bummed that you didn't put out the Waltham interview because you guys had Waltham in here. Did you guys talk and film it and release it?
All they did was talk old days, so it was
just put it out.
You should put it out.
I edited it up, so all it was the laughing. That's it.
Well, you know, the point of them doing that pod was so when they go to release the tunes, we could just put out clip.
Yeah.
You guys should do that. Like, you know how like they do that with Trump now? Like before the microphone, before he says something, like,
Yeah. That's what I want to do. Well, the good news is I'm going to be here now when Jonesy gets here.
Yeah, no, I saw the text.
So we'll do some more. Yeah.
I'll say that I saw Waltham at the Shasheen. Shasheen in Manchester.
Oh, that's right. You were side stage for that.
Dude, I was blown away how awesome the band still is. It's been a while. Like, the last time I saw you guys was at you sold out the frickin' Sinclair? Whatever that was. I came from a wedding or something, and I was like all dressed up. Like Frank was singing in the chicks' malls, and his kids were crying in the balcony because like, what's Dad doing? That's not Mom. It was like crazy drama. But
it was fine when we got home.
Yeah, it was fine when they got home. But but that show was sick, and then that like, dude, for a smaller show, it was insane. I love the new song. What was that called? Summer Nights. What song do you guys play?
We played a couple. Where Do You Want to Go is one of them.
Yeah, we tried that one. I butchered that one.
And Rearview Mirror was
Rearview Mirror.
So, okay, Frank sent me the demo before the show, and I said to him, it's not like Waltham enough, right? But then when I got, like, it's Waltham, but it didn't have that, like, it wasn't bombastic enough for me, I guess, maybe. And then I got to the show, and I was like, no, it's Waltham. I wrote him the next day, I go, hey, I'm an idiot. It was awesome. Rearview
Good.
Mirror.
We recorded that one, and it sounds like Waltham. And these fucking guys are gonna.
Rearview mirror. That's
Yeah. All right, we're done.
All right, nice talking.
Hey, shout out to Waltham. Check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ken Susi.